Hey guys. So to start off, to be honest, I've never actually really noticed how much Americans have a difficult time saying the proper term for private body parts because I tend to use the proper terms with a lot of people I talk with, and it never occurred to me. So listening to the audio and reading the story, it was a little shocking to realize that. So I'm not entirely sure why, but after listening to the video, Washington mentioned how our culture objectifies women, and in the textbook in chapter 1, it mentioned how the media plays a very huge influence in um, our teenagers learning an education about their sexuality, which makes sense and could be why Americans have such a difficult time using the proper terms because you don't really hear the proper terms in music or in movies or TV shows. Um, Sometimes even in books, you don't tend to see the proper terms. However, in my experience with reading, I've noticed a better term usage with books than in other types of media. Um, I did notice that with the article and the audio story, one thing that they both tend to touch on was the proper usage of the proper terms for private parts and us not doing enough as educators to present those proper terms to um, the teenagers and the children. Um, what can society do to change this? Well, we can probably start by using the proper terms. I really did like the idea in the article about starting with the children and teaching them the proper terms because as a child, that's where you get all your brain's like a sponge, so you absorb more stuff, and that's the best time to teach a child the proper things. You don't want them to grow up not knowing the proper terms of certain body parts. Um, and with that too, another thing that would be able to change would be like in the how the audio said to um, bring the sexes together to educate them because like I think it was Washington, he mentioned how a lot of times sex education is based off of its focus is more on preventing pregnancy and a lot of STDs and STIs prevention. So bringing together the sexes would also give them a more equal knowledge, and there would be less communication when the time comes and they actually start to have sex.